If you need help with addiction and don't know where to go, you can call the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration 24 hours a day. The number is 1-800-662-HELP or 1-800-662-4357. They work around the clock and will help you find what you need.
Amazing the things that can happen when you plan for them. Hey, everybody. How you doing? I am Captain Tommy Scoville, and you people, you're on the lifeboat. Folks, we have an awful lot to talk about this evening, but before we do, some general housekeeping. There are still some people out there that definitely need our thoughts and our prayers. Look at that. What have I done? I warn people against this, and then I do it myself. Sorry about that. Christian, you know him as the leisure beast. People, he's going through it. The C and the math are, they're tough, and he's going through it. So we need to keep him in our thoughts and prayers. He's a great guy, super member of the boat, super member of the crew, and we want to make sure that he's back on deck as soon as possible. So please keep him in your thoughts and your prayers. We all remember that Journey had an accident. That was a car wreck. She was making a left-hand turn. Somebody ran a red light and T-boned the car. In the process of that, her husband was injured pretty badly, and he required some surgery. She is doing fantastic. He's still in an awful lot of pain. And people, we're not the kind of folks who do well in an awful lot of pain. And this is a gentleman that whose previous drug of choice was pain meds. So we need to keep him in our thoughts and prayers. This is a tough time to be him, and this is what the boat's all about. At a time like this, we need to keep him in our thoughts and our prayers. You can reach out to Journey, let her know that you're praying. That might be nice. It would mean a lot to us. It really would. I am, huh? Well, that's not good. Let's just back up, people. From what I understand, I am not coming across the way that I would like to. So I would like to start off once again by putting some prayers out. Leisure Beast is going through it. He has the C plus math, and this is you meant physically back up. we are a well-oiled machine, people. There, how does that look, huh? Look at that. Yes. People, the fun we are having. So when the producer says back up, I think he literally means back up. So you know who we're praying for. Last but certainly not least is Mr. Saigon Cinnamon and his boy. I want to keep the both of them in our prayers. I was wearing my Saigon Cinnamon sweatshirt today. I was in Sam's Club doing a little shopping. I was going to be putting together some Chex Party Mix. Can't do that without big boxes of stuff, and Sam's is perfect. And a woman walked up and said, "I love that sweatshirt." Started up a conversation, and she assures me she will be stopping by to check out the lifeboat, and will let me know that she was the lady at the Sam's Club. But it's awesome, people. You wear that shirt out, and people do comment on it, which is great. It's one of those slogans, and that just gets people's attention, especially if there's somebody that has been in the same boat. So it was nice to strike up a conversation and get a chance to talk about the lifeboat, which is pretty much my favorite thing to do anyway. I think this is 240 something. I don't know the exact number of these videos that I've done, but it's in the ballpark of 240, I think. And if you go back 2 months, my friend number 5 overdosed and died. And I was not looking forward to going on and doing that show. That was a video that I really didn't want to do. It was painful, and You know, I kind of had signed up right from the beginning. I have said that if something is going on in my life, I'm going to share it and I'm going to be open about it. And it's just going to be as transparent as possible, because if I'm not, well, most certainly you won't be. So when that day came up, I came on the air and I told people how I was feeling. The Then I did during the C math, there were a couple of days that I very much did not want to film as well. This one here, though, is a special kind of uncomfortable, because number one, um, it is one of those things where I could thank the people who hate me for making this moment necessary, not possible. And it's it's uncomfortable when you have to come and do something based not on something that you want to do, but on something that you have to do. Every day when I come on and I do a video here on the lifeboat, I do it because I want to. I do it because it is a labor of love. That is not this video, and that plain sucks. However, we need to have I'm sorry, people. I got a post that every once in a while, Linda will chime in. One of my Lindas will chime in and tell me something that's going on, because they know that in spite of my squirrelness, it's not always on the mark. So I got one that said, Jacob Forrester, Andrea's younger brother might need a positive thought, and Andrea might need some support. Her brother got run over by a car, and he's got a concussion and a badly broken leg. People, please, let's thank you so much, Linda. And let's please keep Andrea's younger brother in our prayers. It's awful. It really is. I'd like to hear that, that he's with us. Thank God, right? That's a miracle. You get run over by a car. That is not always, the case. So I want to thank God that that worked out the way it did. And we want to make sure that we keep him in our thoughts and our prayers. Don't need his name. God knows what it is. And if you send out positive energy, I doubt you need the name for that either. So we're in good shape. I appreciate that, Linda. Thank you. So as I was saying, people, this is just rowdy, kind of uncomfortable, but it has to happen. So Mark and I have been working behind the scenes diligently, more so than normal, which is kind of saying something, because believe it or not, people, we do put a decent amount of effort into what we do here. But lately, we have had to put in a little bit more. You were all here for, most of you, were here for the event the other night where somebody came on and opted to debate me. Now, two people actually, disagreed with me, but one is a great guy. Niall is a guy that I correspond back and forth with, and look, you can disagree. It really is not an issue. And as I said in the video the next morning, it's when you've got an account that's a few hours old and you're disagreeing. If your purpose of being here is just to disrupt, then that kind of disagreement, it's not real. It's manufactured for the purpose of disrupting this channel. For those of you who are new to the boat, I apologize that we have to do this. For those of you who have been here a long time, this is no shock to you. Believe it or not, people, there's a group of people on the planet who, and most assuredly on YouTube, who hate me. I mean, for lack of any other way to put it, they hate me. And I think the reason for that is my phenomenal singing voice. If you haven't heard me sing, people, it can inspire jealousy in a lot of people. I mean, I've been called the songbird of my time. Anyway, there's a lot of stupid reasons that these people dislike me. But the problem is that dislike manifests itself in ways that go after the boat. If they go after me personally, I'm not kidding you, folks. I collect death threats like they're trading cards. And that's all good, because those people are cowards. It's not something that you have to worry about. But it becomes an issue when the target becomes the boat, because they disrupt what we do. And the nature of what we do is live, and it needs to be, because for you all to have the opportunity to do what you do in the comment section, which is huge, right? We've talked about this ad nauseum. There's a chat going on right now. I'm not reading it, but I guarantee you it's good stuff, right? There's all kinds of love and affection and support, and the building of friendships and the building of family in ways that just doesn't happen very often. And I'll be damned if I'm going to be comfortable sitting back and letting that erode. Mark feels the same way. So we find ourselves in a position that really, isn't ideal. but we have to figure out a way to ensure that we can continue to do what we do without disruption and without the slings and arrows interfering with what we do. Because as you'll probably start to hear in the very near future at the start of all of our live feeds, you're going to hear a voiceover and a little bit of a disclaimer that says something to the effect of, due to the nature of what we do here on the lifeboat, we're going to be hypersensitive to guarding our followers, our crew, our family against people who are jackwagons, right? People who, for no other reason other than they like to tear down and disrupt, are going to try to do just that. Now, no matter how good we get at taking care of that, and let's be right up front right now, we have the best wrench crew in the world, but people are going to fall through the cracks, and people are going to get really well adept at finding every angle that they can work in order to be adept. So we find ourselves having to come up with a plan A, B, C, and D to ensure that this doesn't happen. One of those plans I just talked about, there's going to be a disclaimer at the beginning of the boat. It's also going to say something along the lines of, if your account is 2 hours old and anything you have to say sounds argumentative, we're just going to get rid of you and we're going to block you. You have the opportunity to email me, right? And then explain to me who you are, what you are, and perhaps we'll give you the opportunity to jump back on board and become a part of this, fine organization. But for the purpose of keeping this rolling, it's not against the rules to disagree with me, people. It's against the rules to disrupt the boat for the sake of disrupting the boat. Now, bigger thinkers than me have dealt with this exact same kind of thing for multiple, years on this platform and on other platforms where trolls, do what they do. And YouTube and other platforms have done things as a way to try to eliminate that from happening. The greatest and easiest ways for those things to be eliminated are through platforms like Patreon, where in order for somebody to come on and say something, they have to be a member. It's a rare thing for a troll to pony up money to come and be a jerk, knowing that when I delete them at that point, they've just handed me money and disappeared, which would be fun, wouldn't it? I mean, I kind of like the idea of every time somebody deciding to be a jackwagon has to hand me a 5 spot. That is a fun concept, but it leaves us with, decisions in terms of, I love the fact that everything we do here is free. Mark feels the exact same way. There are people who donate, and that's awesome. It really is. It helps. I'm not going to lie to you. It really helps. And it gives us a warm and fuzzy that I didn't realize could happen. It says something that it's just a beautiful thing. It really is. And for those of you who do that regularly, the prospect of a paid channel where, you have a monthly subscription fee probably doesn't ruffle the feathers very much. However, from the word go, from the very first video when I was dumb enough to film directly up and down, right? So that the iPhone I was using had a little box thing on both sides. But you remember that, don't you, Mark? I mean, people, you got to be a moron to film like that. Fortunately, I figured it out, and it only took one video. Can you imagine doing that for like 100 or 2? Believe it or not, it happens. Yay, geniuses. But somebody jumps to mind. I won't pick on anybody. But the point is this, people. The point is we are discussing very seriously the prospect of doing a subscription here. It's not something that people are going to have to do, and we're not going to dramatically change what we're doing here on YouTube. We're going to continue to deliver a product, whether or not we can deliver that product 7 days a week and continue to do what we do because of, for those of you, again, who are new, you don't realize the level of vitriol and hate that is going on. And thank God you don't. You don't need to. It's not important. Truthfully, these are insignificant people doing insignificant things until they're not insignificant. And at that point, discussions like this need to happen. But from that very first video, the one thing that we've done, and we've been proud as heck about it, is that we have said from Jump Street, this is your boat. We definitely get the best seats in the house. And we earn those seats. You know, you people are always telling me that I'm too modest. I'll tell you right now, I earn this seat. You know, I do. I work my can off. I put in a lot of hours to put up a lot of videos. And you know, when you start thinking of 10, you know, 12 hours, sometimes more than that every single week, that we put in, and then there's answering the comments and doing all of that. And you know what? I'm not complaining. I love it. I love every single part of it. There's nothing about this I don't like except the part we're discussing right now. So as we talk about going forward and perhaps putting together some, perhaps nothing, I apologize. We're putting together some kind of a membership thing. What I would like to know is the response from the people on the boat. If this is something that you hate, don't be shy. You're not going to hurt my feelings. You're not going to hurt Mark's feelings. This really is an opportunity right now for you to say, boy, you know what? I can't stand that idea. Or, you know what? I love that idea. There are things that we can do that are kind of cool. If we're doing some kind of a membership thing, then there are live streams that can be member only live streams. And what that does is trolls simply cannot break into a members only live feed. They can't comment. They can't do anything. And what we can do for that kind of a situation is there can be multiple times each week that we can close this off to the world. And if there are conversations that we're going to have that are going to be really heavy duty, because let's be honest, people, this is the kind of thing that becomes an issue. The kind of thing where somebody comes in here and says, one of the reasons that I use is because, you know, I was molested at the age of 6, and this is something that went on for 3 years. People, that's the kind of thing that discussing and doing it in a group setting and having people support you is one of those things that can help you get through things. But who wants to do that with trolls who, let's be honest, people, the meaner they can be, the better. And it honestly turns my stomach into a knot at the concept of, you know, trying to do that kind of a show and keeping it open and exposed to the world. So I guess what I'm saying is talk to me, right now. Please get in the comment section and talk to us. Let us know what your feeling is on this, because we would love to know.
I'm gonna go ahead and
Please.
unmute Captain. Okay.
Yeah.
I think it's better if we both. Matter of fact, I think I'm gonna put my face on the screen. If that's all right.
Oh boy. People.
How's that? I know it ain't the best looking thing, but there I am. Anyway.
All right. Let me do this then. Check this out. See, and I haven't disconnected or anything, and there you are.
There I am.
See that? Huh?
Yep. So yeah. And again, I think you're right on it. I'm just here. I just want to make sure you're not. I don't want you guys thinking he's doing this on his own. This is something that's taken a lot of discussion. This is actually something I've been a part of before on other channels, and I've seen it. What he talks about, other people going through all this stuff. This is, unfortunately, it's a normal thing that just happens. It really is. But the level of stuff that we've already had to deal with is pretty intense. I will say, it really is. People hating for no other reason just to hate. And we don't want people that are in here trying to be, needing help, such as a molestation and stuff like that, like you just spoke about. It doesn't need to be that way. I mean, especially when people are saying they don't even care about those people. They don't care. It's collateral damage. So it's our job to protect you guys as much as we can. And I take that very seriously because, it takes a lot just to open up, period. Especially in a large platform like this, it is definitely something. And again, I don't think me and Tommy have all the answers. We don't. We need input. We really do.
Well, and let me say right now, just because of some of the things I've read in the comments as we're doing this, no one is going to have to pay for the lifeboat. You understand? I'm not going to stop doing what I'm doing right now. What I'm doing with you people is telling you a couple of things, one of which is this. We're going to build a safer harbor within this that is going to allow us to do some different things. But I am not, no, Saigon, you are not becoming a paid membership channel. That is not what's happening. What's happening is there is going to be something put together for people that have the that want to get involved in a program that's going to be different and going to be safer. Now, that doesn't mean that we're going to stop doing what we're doing here. If you don't have any desire to become part of this pay thing, then don't. Don't. I'm not going to stop doing what I'm doing. You're going to get this nonstop, right? I'm not going to stop doing this. But know this: when I'm right in the middle of something and I'm talking and I go, "Hey, mods," the guy's name is Mark L. Cannon. I don't want people to go, "Oh, look, the captain's getting." The reason that I say that, if that happens, is because we just ran this guy's name. He's 2 hours old and he's starting to do this routine. The number of people we have blocked, the number of people that we have gotten rid of that you probably didn't see or pick up on, is getting to be enormous. They take runs daily. I'm not kidding. This is something that happens every day. And it's the same people. It is. It's the same people. It's a very small group of them. But the reason that places like Patreon exist is because of people like these guys. One person can do a tremendous amount of damage if they want to be a jackwagon. Listen very carefully. Nothing is going to change in terms of what I'm doing here other than what I just told you. There are going to be times where I'm not letting these people disrupt. And what I don't want is the core crew members on this boat to go, "Boy, the captain's being a jerk." Trust and believe that if you hear me say, "Hey, do me a favor, get rid of Mark L. He's got to go." It's not because I'm sensitive. It's not because I'm a jerk. I can debate with the best of them and I can defend my point. What I'm not going to do is allow somebody, you'll notice, people, that I can say, "Boy, you know what? Puppies and kittens are awesome and it's great when you win $1,000. And the guy says, no, it sucks when you win money. Who likes kittens and puppies?" Right? They realize that the way to disrupt is to try to argue, because I am somebody that will respond to people in the comment section. And if I decide not to, then it's not the boat. If I don't answer questions that people say, then we're just like every other channel. If I just come up here and talk for an hour and I have no problem whatsoever with calling out trolls, good, I am glad to hear that. I really am. I am glad to hear that. So just know this: there is going to be a membership option that is put out. You will not need to get that option to get what you're getting right now. Plain and simple. What we're going to do is there are going to be people who have things that they want to talk about that are so immensely personal that they're not going to feel comfortable doing it right here in this forum. For those individuals, there's not much I can do other than this. There's not much that I can do other than what we're talking about right now, as a way to give you an opportunity to come and talk to us where nobody else can mess with you, where nobody else can leave stupid comments and be a troll, for lack of a better way to put it. But I probably will say this 5 more times before we end. You are not going to have to pay anything to get what you already get. You hear me? Nothing is going to change. What we're doing right now at the lifeboat will be exactly what we're doing right now at the lifeboat. But there are going to be times where you hear something like, there is going to be a members only live feed that we're doing tonight. That's for people that wanted to take that option. One of the other things that we've talked about before at length is the amount of very personal interaction that I can do with people on the boat becomes limited because of, we're about to click 2,000, right? I was a lot more interactive with all of the people on the boat when we had 600 because I could do that. And I'm a little bit more limited at 2,000. I'm going to be a lot more limited at 5,000. And at 100,000, it's going to get dicey, right? So how do you structure something? And this is something that plagues anybody successful in YouTube, right? Or any forum like this. How is it that you can structure something so that you can work with people? Do you make a lottery system? Do you pull numbers out of a hat? How do you do it? Because really it becomes one of those things that gets very difficult. However, the membership program is one of those things that makes that possible for certain individuals. Do they end up having to come out of their pocket? They do. There's really no other way. I mean, what do? We'll just start randomly picking. We'll take one person whose last name starts with A, one person whose last name starts with B. This is a way to structure these things in such a way. Chili Mancer, good to see you. To structure things in such a way where everybody, you're going to get exactly what you got right now. Are there going to be people who get a little bit more? Yeah, there are. And then what they're going to get is a better level of protection. Primarily, foremost, that is what we're going for. Yeah. Now, in order to justify that, there'll be other things, but that's what we're going for. Is a place where people can feel a little bit safer than they do right here. But we're going to do everything within our power to make this safer as well.
Right.
Is that about it, Mark? I mean,
yeah. I mean, and I think you hit on everything. Except I want to say this too. You know, I guess the best way to look at this is more of it's a perk type of system. It's how it's set up. Okay. So, I mean, you're going to get everything you've always got here. We're actually making changes in the background too to make it safer here already. We're doing some things with the moderators and stuff like that to be able to make sure that this stuff, when it does happen, Tommy ain't going to have to say, hey, get him out of here. We're already going to be on it. I mean, it's just really going to be, but it's going to take some time. And all this is not going to happen tomorrow, guys.
No.
Okay. This is why we're coming to you guys now. It has nothing to do with anything other than trying to keep people, you know, in a safe place in their mind. And when they come here, none of this is going to change at all. What you get here is what you're going to get here. But this is also going to probably be on a different platform. This is also probably going to be, you know, there's going to be some additives depending on what we do and what we decide to do as a channel and as a boat. And that's why we're talking, because, and we're not talking about $500 subscription fees, guys.
That's right. It's $1,500.
And we really haven't even talking about the tiers. Usually there's 3 tiers. Most of them start at $5. I mean, it's not like it's and again, I understand some people can't afford that. I completely get it. I really do. But what I'm saying is that's really probably going to be probably the bottom level. I would think it's typically if you guys go around YouTube at all, looking anywhere, that's what you're going to find. Usually the bottom one's going to be $5. And it wasn't put there to make money. Okay. That's not why the membership stuff was even started on YouTube. It was put there for what we're doing it for. This is why. The YouTube put the membership stuff for membership only stuff here on YouTube to combat like Patreons and stuff like that. And I think we may be doing that. I don't know yet. And that's what we're all talking. But at the same time, we have to understand why we're doing it. And I have to say this again. Nothing is changing here as far as what you're going to see and what you're going to get. You're going to get the same live stream. You're going to get the same amount of attention, the same amount of energy, the same amount of us trying to do the best thing that we can do. As a matter of fact, the product itself is probably going to improve as we improve with the technology and stuff, and as I'm able to get a little bit better with what I do and all those things. Things will become more streamlined. I'm not sure if you guys have noticed, but we've been on time pretty much almost every live stream for the past couple weeks now. It wasn't like that at the beginning. It's because we were hammering stuff out. We're finding a groove. You know, guys, like it or not, me and Tommy do have families and lives. So, you know, when we do come here, you know, sometimes it's as simple as me coming 10 minutes, it's setting up the live stream. 10 minutes before the live stream, I'm sending Tommy a link, and boom, there you see us. Okay? Sometimes it has to be that way. It's not like that every time. Okay? Sometimes we definitely talk about what we're going to do prior to, usually off and on all day long. That's usually what it ends up being. But what I'm trying to say is that it's becoming more of a oiled machine in the aspect of what we can. And when all the technology stuff is ironed out, that allows us to allows me a little bit more to concentrate and it takes some stress off of Tommy. It really does.
Yeah, so I just got a really comment of the week to Mr. Saigon Cinnamon, who said that if I start a fans only page, the trolls alone will make me a millionaire. There will be some pole dancing on the second tier, but thanks for dropping that ahead of time, Saigon.
Wow.
We were kind of hoping to leave that out at a later date. No, seriously, folks. I'm glad that Mark is hammering this home because I want to hammer this home 16 times. This isn't going to change the boat. The only thing that is getting ready to change here is going to be a new disclaimer at the beginning of the videos and a little understanding from the crew, because there are going to be times where it looks like I axed somebody for no apparent reason. You're going to see somebody disappear and go, they didn't say anything messed up, because we're getting a lot better at spotting these cats before they start.
Say it. I screwed up the other night. I did.
Yeah, well, you know what? They screwed up.
It's okay. And that's why we're doing this, is what I'm trying to say. There was an account there that Tommy had blocked, and I thought it was a mistake on Tommy's part because that's happened before. And, you know, those kinds of things, that's what I'm trying to say. Those kinds of things will not happen again because of the steps that we're taking. We're going to
CT555 says, I'd like to think I could protect myself. You know what, my brother? I'm sure that in a room, you can protect yourself. But what happens is this: people start to protect themselves by saying, well, I'm just not going to share things about my past in such a way that that's fine. That's a way of protecting yourself. It's also a way of not getting, for some people, to the issues that drive them to drink and drug. And we have seen things. If you've been here long enough, you go back, you will read things that people have said here that have just opened themselves wide up. Read some of the goodbye letters from some people that just bled onto the page. I'm concerned for my crew, plain and simple. If that makes me soft, I'm soft, plain and simple. But even if you can take care of yourself, my brother, this is not a situation. I promise you, these people would never stand in a room with anybody, right? These people are cowards. It's the defining characteristic of the people that do this. They're cowards, right? And they're failures, for real. You never run across any of these people who haven't failed at trying to do exactly what the person who's doing it is being trolled. In other words, you got a successful channel, doing X, Y, and Z. The people trolling you don't have a successful X, Y, Z channel. That's just sort of how it goes. But I'm not for 1 second telling you that I think all of you need me as a big brother with a baseball bat. What I'm saying is we've tried to design a platform where people can come and talk about things without the threat of exactly what we're talking about happening. And we're quick on the draw. I deleted 6 ugly comments today. I mean, one of which was so ugly that, well, whatever. Yeah, the point is, and I'm not alone. I've got 2 other people, right? That you guys, we all joke and call them Melindas, right? But I got 2 other people, and aside from Mark, so there's 4 of us who just all day long go through and look for these. Not to mention the fact that everyone with a wrench does the same thing, and half the time they don't even mention it to me. You know, these people get their rocks off by thinking that they've disrupted what we're trying to do, and the crueler they can be, you know what I mean? Like the crueler they are, the happier they are. Well, so I'm sure you can protect yourself.
They're here.
Doesn't mean I'm not gonna.
They're listening to us right now.
Absolutely.
Promise you. And that's okay. You know, and I think the way that I would put this is, you know, especially to address CT's concern there, you know, I know that you can protect yourself, but I remember when I first got help, I was the most fragile as I had ever been. So it could be just that little bit of whatever that might tick me away from something that's going to help me. If we can prevent that just by, you know, doing these small things that we're doing right now, I think that's the goal. It's never going to be perfect, okay?
No, it's not.
It just won't. But it doesn't mean that we shouldn't try to make it better. And that's...
Yeah, exactly. And tomorrow morning, people, make no mistake, tomorrow morning, the headlines in Trollville will be that Tommy Scoville is getting greedy and looking for more money. You know what I mean? For real, that's what they're going to be going with. Listen carefully. Listen carefully. What you're getting right here, the product that we put out on the lifeboat, is not going to change, right? The only thing that's going to change is a new disclaimer and different formats. And I want people to understand, if you watch a cat disappear for no apparent reason, it isn't no apparent reason.
Right.
It's just that you're not privy to what's going on while people are running around and researching these names of people that are coming on board.
Well,
right? That
Street
is the most important takeaway from this right now.
Street Mom says it's all new to me. What is their motivation? That's a great question. But
If
the
you
thing
figure
of
that
it,
out, let us know.
yeah, and that's the thing. Okay, the motivation is just to try to make this fail. That's really what it is. What's behind it, whatever. I'm not here to, and I don't hate people at all. I don't hate the people that are hating us. I mean, read the banners there. Hate the hate, not the haters. Don't drink the haterade. Never quit quitting. That's exactly how we live our life. That's how I live my life. I love the people that hate me. I really do. I truly, honestly pray for people like that. That is not something I just say, just to say it. And it's okay, and I get that other people are going to view that different. But my point is, it doesn't really, the motivation isn't really, even if we knew the exact whatever of the motivation behind it, it's not going to change what we have to do because it's still going to come the same way. So what we have to do is we have to try to, do what we do here, make these, and make no mistake, guys, these are small changes. These are not humongous changes. And I would also say this, you're not going to see another YouTube channel out there come out in the forward of this and do what we're doing right now. You're not going to see anybody asking to, what do you guys want to do? This is what we're going to do right now. You guys got any issues? Let us know, please. We're ahead. I don't want to say we're ahead of this, but we're going out. We're trying to be proactive instead of reactive. And I really do think that bringing it to you here and letting you guys all hear it, this is what we're doing. This is just another level of transparency that we need to have here, and that just shows you that the motives of what we're doing here. I don't understand sometimes. Why people that don't fall into that hate sometimes have a hard time understanding why, because in your mind just doesn't work that way.
Well, I'm reading a book currently right now. As I've told you people, I'm finishing up a book on social media and social media addiction. And there's a chapter in there where the guy, the doctor that wrote his PhD, and he said, if you don't think times have changed, try to explain the concept of a troll to somebody born in 1945. Try to make someone born in 1945 understand the concept of what a troll is. In terms of their motivation, this is it. This is the best way I can put it. Those who can do, those who can't troll, right? When you see a thumbs up, people are saying, I really like what you're doing. When you see a thumbs down, honestly, most of the time it says, I tried doing this, couldn't. Here's a thumbs down for your effort. The person and the people that are doing this, seriously, started to try to do what we're doing and failed heinously. And then somewhere in the first, say, month and a half of their failure, they came up with 16 new reasons to hate me and my family. There is no reason, right? Trolls don't have reasons. They don't even have minds. And what happens is they get this mentality of people who go, ooh, cool. Because, people, let's be really honest. If you look at my morning videos, right, that I put up, the most successful ones that I've done in the last 2 months, one said, it's time to fight. Right? It's time to fight. I got 130 views on that thing in about 45 minutes because people thought I was going to be answering back the trolls that are talking crap every single day. One of the other ones, anytime that thing has anything that you could even twist to go, ooh, look, drama, the views come in. That's the nature of YouTube. If I could prove it to you. I could do a video tomorrow that says, I think it's time I address these guys. It'll be the biggest views count you've ever seen. I don't have any intention of addressing these people, talking about them by name, any of this crap. What we're doing right now is for you. It's not for them. They're listening, but this is for you. It's not for them. We want you to know exactly what's going on so that going forward, this makes sense to you. The last thing in the world I want is people perplexed at the changes. Now, changes are not going to affect what we're doing right now, right here. I'm going to do a video every morning. I'm going to do a live feed at 6 o'clock. You understand? The only time that would change in any way is if I happen to do the live stream at 5 or at 7, but we're not going to stop putting out exactly what we're doing right here, no matter what happens. no matter what changes take place, this is going to continue the way it is doing.
And
What I want is a little bit of understanding because we're going to have to deal with these things, and I want you to understand them as they come up.
And I would say this too. We may talk about changes in the future, but I promise you we'll never talk about this again. This ain't coming up again. The reason why
No,
this is it. It doesn't deserve our attention in that way ever again. So, what I'm saying is, guys, the changes that happen in the future, we'll bring them to you and let you know, hey, this is what we're doing, and we're doing it for this reason. But that's going to stop right there. We're bringing it to you now in this way because we're very early on in a channel, and everybody here is family. And that's why we're talking like this. There's no other way to bring it to everybody than to do it something like this because it's gotten so big so quick. And that's the other issue, right? I mean, because we get a lot of people in here, and we really do. It's immediate family, and that's why we're comfortable bringing it to you, and that's why we care about what you guys want, and what you guys need. And Tommy said, yeah, we don't need a big brother in here smacking somebody with the ball bat. Well, the fact of the matter is, there are some people that do need that, and that's just what it is. There's sometimes I need that. I think all of us need some protection sometimes from somebody, and we take that responsibility very, very seriously. And that's why we're doing this.
And I've seen some comments tonight from some people. First of all, CT555 says, so these trolls kind of fall into how society shuns us. Yeah, you know what they do. And there's a lot of that. There really is. And you watch as we get bigger, you're going to get a lot of people to pop in just to talk about us as burnouts and coke fiends. And I hope you guys OD. Like, that's going to happen. And you just have to know that it's coming. It's great that we can address it while we only have 2,000 people. Sounds like a lot because of how fast we got here. People, it makes us a really small channel. And as we grow bigger, right, there will be other challenges. But always along the way, we're going to communicate. I've also had about 5 different people who have said things along the lines of, I look forward to seeing what the perks are. Jamie has said, at any price, that would be a bargain. I appreciate all of that. I really do. And you know what? For the people who see it that way, there's going to be some options for some really private stuff. But for the rest of people who just think, I like things just the way they are, keep on cruising because you're going to get things just the way they are. But I just want you to understand when I announce one of these things, it isn't the, Tommy needs a new Ferrari fund. It's, I want a place where I can get away from these people.
Yeah.
Bottom line.
Yeah. And that's the thing, and a secondary platform is really the only answer to that, for people that do want that part of it. There are stuff like here on YouTube where you can do members only chat and all that kind of stuff. But when you do those kinds of things, there's drawbacks to that too. So, I mean, nothing is perfect. Okay. It's just not. There's no perfect 100% making everybody happy. But what we want to, and I'm going to say it again, nothing that we've done in the past is changing right here, ever.
Yes, thank you.
It's not changing.
And this one's clutch. I gotta jump in because Greta says, sorry, because it scrolled up. I'm liable to get rid of somebody by accident. It says, I'm a warrior, no fear. The trolls should go back to their swamp. I'll tell you why this is important. We're in their swamp. You understand? We're sitting in the middle of their swamp. We want them to go back to their swamp. YouTube is their swamp. We have said from the word go that we are an oasis of love in a desert of hate, right? It doesn't really become too much of an issue until you start to get bigger. But right now, we are in the middle of that swamp. So all we're doing is we don't answer to these people. And because of that, when I do something like, hey, get rid of this guy, right? Hey, get rid of it. It makes us look like we're some kind of jerks. We just need you people to understand exactly what's going on. Many of you have been here from the Tommy Scoville show, right? But there are a lot of people who just got here. And for those people, they don't realize that these death threats and these, people sending pictures to my kids and all of the things that these people have done has been going on for over a month. And to do what I do, right? And to interact and do it. The one thing that is just disturbing is when you got to get going and going, I hope they're not here tonight, right? I hope tonight's not the night that they decide to come in here and just be jackwagons. And I'm not, don't do the woe is Tommy thing. I love what I do. But boy, it's a lot more fun when I'm not worried about that. And, you know, in the future, people, there's going to be a platform where I don't worry about that. And I can let the hair down in different ways and do some things that I'm not going to need to deal with.
And
T Prada,
I think
if you're just getting here, T Prada, nothing is going to change. This is what happens when people get late. Please watch this from the beginning because it will. Nothing is going to change. Nothing is going to change.
Yeah.
Nothing's changing. Mark, is anything changing?
Nothing's changing, Tommy. Nothing's changing.
No, so there won't be any change.
And it's okay, guys. I mean, I get it, right? I mean, if I was part of just the you know, the normal chat and everything like that, and wasn't able to talk to you guys, I get coming in and wondering what the heck's going on. I get it, but and so's Tommy.
Yeah.
Then that's why we keep saying it. Nothing's going to change, and it's true. It just won't.
Saigon says he's been here since I was a toddler. When Saigon Cinnamon arrived, I still had hair. Yeah, he's been here a long time. Yeah, T Prada, I didn't mean if I came across as a jerk, I just don't want you to come out with anything other than the fact that nothing is going to change, right? But I do want you to watch this from the beginning because I want you to understand when you see something that doesn't make sense to you and you go, what just happened? This video will explain it. That's really what it boils down to.
And I think a lot of what's going to come from this one particular video is the fact that we've been extremely lenient in the chat, okay? And that's still going to continue for people that we know that's here for the right reasons, right? I mean, if somebody says something that just kind of strikes a mod or whatever funny, the first thing that we're going to do from now on is check how old the account is. Okay, and there is going to be a chat rule that's going to be flashed before each live stream begins. I think Tommy is going to do a voiceover.
You're 24 hours old, don't even bother.
Right.
Because we're not, you know what I mean? Here's what happens, people. They create a sock account 25 minutes before we go live because we've already blocked them on 6 accounts. So they create a brand new account. They show up and they go, hi, great to be here. Really enjoying the show. And then they start, right? And they start saying things like, you know, Tommy freebased cocaine before he came on the air. You know, so-and-so is sleeping with so-and-so and all of these things. And, you know, it's people say all the time, just ignore them. The truth of the matter is most of the people here don't ignore them. There are a lot of people here who know exactly what's going on because they watch the same channels, right? It's a morbid curiosity. It's like driving by a car wreck. You know what I mean? And when it's in our chat room, when it's in our live feed, it's very difficult to ignore. So just know that the axe is going to drop and it's going to drop fast. We're not picking on people. We're taking care of business, right? Nothing here is going to change other than the fact that we are going to, it would never cross my mind to do crap like that. Of course it wouldn't. Of course it wouldn't. You're not these people.
Yeah.
You're not these people. But these people thrive on this. They don't like me. I'm telling you, folks. It's the same voice.
And here's
you haven't heard it.
I would say this too, guys. You know, the fact of the matter is that every channel deals with this, but the difference is that we're trying to do something different than what's out there. We're trying to provide something for people that, you know, we really truly, our whole heart and our mind is into this, and we do think that this is a very important thing, and that's why we take it this serious. And there's nothing else out there that's doing this. So, you know, trolling on something like that, if you're trolling on a freaking T channel, I mean, does it affect in life? No. But if you're trolling on a channel where somebody's actually there, you know, with the possibility of maybe getting clean or maybe just having that shoulder they need to cry on for a second, there's a big difference there. I'm sorry.
Sure.
There's a huge difference. And
okay, before we get to the top of the hour mark and I screw this thing up, Jamie, thank you for your generosity. 7th son. My brother doesn't have Linda's. He has Karen's. I have Linda's. Johnny has Karen's. We tried getting Karen to come over here when we first got rolling. We could not get one of the 36 Karens that work at Chase the Heat to come over here. And before any of you think I'm doing the Karens that everyone else is, they have been doing. We had Karen long before any of that came up. 5 years. Everybody that works at Chase the Heat's name is Karen. It's just an odd thing. Tommy Bird says, I think this channel is the best idea I've seen in a while. That is a beautiful thing to say. Spanx Calhoun, it's good to see you, my friend and son. Another great example, people. You know what I mean? My family. It means a lot to me that they can come in here and just be my family. But the truth of the matter is they're not going to be liked because of their relation to me. It's a pretty twisted world. But Brian Michaels may have gotten the comment of the day. He said, how boring is somebody's life that they got time to sit around and make fake accounts just so that they can pester people?
You know, and that's
right here.
Yeah,
right
exactly.
here, Brian. Right here.
And I think that, you know, and I would say this too, guys. Let's just face the fact: love will always win, no matter what. It cannot fail. It doesn't. Even if we go completely away, the things that we've done already have touched people's lives in a way that they're going to be changed in a positive direction. That's going to have that butterfly effect for the rest of time.
No question.
So, to all the hate, put that in your pipe and smoke it. Have fun.
Yeah. But Tommy hasn't smoked any of it, just for the record.
I'm just saying, because it really does. Yeah. It does bother people that are loved, right? I mean, and that's why. But I don't, you know, again, I would be sitting here lying to you if I said that sometimes it doesn't bother people and bother myself, because it's stupid to say that. We're human beings.
It wouldn't be honest, is what it would be.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And people think because we're YouTubers and we're on this doing this thing that this is just YouTube world. Well, it's not. This is people's lives. I'm somebody's son. That means I have a mother. That means I have kids. I'm a husband. I'm a real person. So does that feel good to them if they're watching me and I'm getting attacked? It doesn't, right?
No, it's ugly.
It's ugly. So, and that's what I'm saying. I'm not like that. That's why it's hard for me to understand it. But that's okay. You know, I'm not going to live my life like that. That's why, you know, when we click close out and me and Tommy talk after the show, I've always, almost 100% of the time, got a smile on my face. I don't care what kind of show we had. I just know that somewhere in that show, we touched somebody in a positive way that will continue that on. And it will. It will continue on. I promise you.
Are you ready for the positive note to end on for the day? Because we're getting to that witching hour here shortly. People, I got one I got to tell you about. You all remember Ryan, right? Ryan had a series of numbers after his name, a whole lot of fours. Ryan was the youngster. He's 25 years old, young man who had a drinking problem. His drinking problem, he was drinking a water bottle full of vodka every single day. He needed to go into assisted detox, through a medical detox, which he did. And then he contacted us when he got out. And I said to him, boy, we'd love to, to highlight your story. He sent me an email today and he gave me permission to read this email. I am not doing that on this show because he deserves better than that. The purpose of this show is to say 600 times, nothing's going to change, but there's going to be other changes, right? You're going to get exactly what you're getting, but there's going to be other changes. Okay, we got that taken care of. Tomorrow, I'm going to read this letter. And I read it 2 or 3 times today. First of all, he is a really articulate young man, more so than I gave him credit for when he was here and everybody was supporting him and he was asking questions. To hear him tell his story, he is a very, very articulate young man. It's beautiful to hear this. And like everyone else, he said, I'm giving you this because I'm hoping that maybe somebody will be in the same situation I was and this will help him. People, that's awesome. But you know what else he said? Please, Captain, whatever you do, don't put my real name out there. Right? That's the world we live in. The last thing in the world this dude wants is to put his real name out there. There are people on this channel who I don't visit on their channels anymore. I don't come by. I don't leave comments. It's not because I'm a jerk. It's because now when I go someplace and do that, I go to somebody's live feed, I'll destroy it. Because as soon as the haters see me there, they're going to come in and they're going to do what they do. And it's going to screw up the live feed of somebody I care about. Right? It's really, we just want you to know, nothing is going to change. We love you people to the point that what we're putting together is an option. This isn't going to change. But for anybody who feels like, boy, I really would love to just really open up and really do this, there's no other option for us than to go to a different platform in order to do that. We are trying to find that platform, and we're trying to find one that's cheap as hell. You know what our question literally has been? Is there one that you're allowed to give the memberships away? Right? Honestly, that would just be ideal. If we could do that here, we wouldn't go anywhere. We would give memberships out to all of the people, right? never have to worry about it, and just not give memberships out to jerks. Unfortunately, it's not an option, probably because our partners who run this have a vested interest in, right, making money at every turn, because as we know, the parent company of YouTube is Google, and they're hurting people. I mean, they're barely making the rent. You know what I'm saying? So they need just that extra. No, I'm kidding. I love YouTube. They're our partners, and they are helping us. Every day we have more people coming in. Not to toot our own horn. Nah, we're tooting our own horn. People, got about 14 new crew members to get. When we do, that number is going to switch to 2K. That's a big deal, people. That's a big deal. That's like going from weeks sober to months sober. You know what I mean? That's a big deal. So we're excited. Everything is going good, but this needed to be said. Do you understand? And I hated this. I swear to God, Mark, how many times did I say,
oh my God,
like, I'm not looking forward to this, man.
Let me say this real quick. Listen, guys, we love you guys enough to change. You think we want to do all this? I mean, and really have to do all these steps? We really don't want to do that. But we love you guys enough, and we love this boat, and we think that this is important enough to put that effort out there, and that's why we're doing it. No other reason. I mean, honestly.
And thank you for your generosity, people. For real, Jamie, that means the world to me. Seventh son, yeah, it means the world. It really does. You people are Brian Michaels, 2000. Let me tell you how much they love that too. So for all of those people, and pay attention, they're not observing, they're lurking, right? To those people, we're not trying to pick fights, people. We're not trying to do any of that. We're better than that. We're better.
Right.
But we're at 2000. Where are you guys at, huh? How's business? Sorry, people. Couldn't resist. Every once in a while, you got to just reach out and touch somebody. You know what I mean? So we're happy, people. We're proud. I'm sure they're doing well. Huh? Okay. That brings us to the top of the hour. People, we really do love you guys. Thank you for your understanding. As we get rolling.
Look for some polls. I think we're going to drop some polls out to get some.
You hear that, people? We're going to be putting out some polls. And somebody had put up something that said, maybe there's a way to do kind of membership type things for people that want to help other people who can't get memberships. I guarantee you that that's going to happen, because that's just who this channel is. It happened with shirts. It happens whenever anybody is hurting. There was an angel investor that had bought somebody Suboxone for them. All of these things kind of do happen. We try to discourage. No, we don't discourage gifting. We discourage asking, because it just leads to bad things. What gross food are you going to do to eat at 2000?
Uh-oh.
Here's the thing, people. I'll tell you something right now, people. I am quite willing to eat another can of Systroming for the purpose of helping the boat. However, I am blessed in that supply chains being what they are, nobody can get Systroming from Sweden right now. I'm not even making that up. It's a very difficult thing. I know some channels that are trying to get it right now, and it's very, very difficult to get that in. If there was a can laying around, people, I would do this for the channel. And it's very easy to say when there isn't a can laying around. See what I did there?
Oh, yeah. Marmite. Get some Marmite and Vegemite. Make us a sandwich.
Yeah. I promise you there will be something epic coming up. I'm going to do something silly. I really am. We're going to do something silly because it's worth it.
We got to have fun, guys. Got to have fun.
You know what? And we do. Look at Fee with her Vegemite. I'd rather eat the fish. Bring on the fish.
Yeah. I don't know. I ain't with you on that one, brother. I'm taking Vegemite all day long.
Yeah, you know what? I would rather do the Systroming than the Vegemite. That Vegemite is just foul. People, we love each and every one of you. Thanks for coming out and force to tell us what you think. Please do vote. Brandon, well played, my brother. Thank you for continuing to fight the good fight. We're proud of everybody here. Everybody. I promise you, this is the best crew going right now. Robbie droppers of my tincture. Keith, I don't do Robbie droppers, brother. I drink the whole bottle. We've established this. I am Captain Tommy Scoble. On the other side of the glass is my partner,
Mark Wages.
People, tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock, I'm going to be doing the same thing. And why? Because nothing is going to change. We went over this. I will be here tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock to do a video. It'll be a fun one. There'll be no clickbait. It'll just be what we do. Between now and then, it would be really awesome if you tried to help somebody, because that's what we do, people. It's the nature of our business, and it's never going to stop. I am out of here, people. God bless.